Hello! So today's a fun one. There's a couple lessons in this one all rolled into one. Well, it's multiple lessons. It's not still one. It would be multiple. There's multiple lessons rolled into one episode. That's what I was trying to say. Basically, the other day, I got a note from one of my clients. That was actually a video reviewing some work we're doing on their website. And this is a long-term client. We've had them for a couple of years, and it's a long story. We took over this website and we worked on it over the years, and we have a maintenance contract on it. So we do a lot of work on this website, and we've done a lot of upgrades and improvements of the theme. It's a WordPress site. We've worked heavily on speed. So speed was I remember probably in the first few months, that was one of the biggest issues with the site. And it was really important to the client that we work on that. And then there were stages where mobile especially mobile speed was becoming more and more and more important. And he would keep reminding me of this. And so we would, I would set different goals to try to improve that speed over time. And there was a lot of challenges with this site. As I said, it was built by somebody else that wasn't kind with the code or how it was built. We needed to extract some old frameworks out of the theme and do all kinds of stuff so we could gain more control over the code and how that code is served. And but also it's a larger site. It's an e-commerce site. It uses WooCommerce, and there's a lot of extra plugins and things that kind of make it difficult to optimize for speed. And that's the thing. Like, every website's a little bit different. WordPress, in particular, I mean, there's out of the gates, it's not really 100% designed for speed, but so you have to do a lot of optimization. You use plugins, you use performance plugins and things that can help with speed, use caching heavily. And so there's all kinds of things you can do, but it still can be a challenge. And sometimes you're working against plugins that don't make it easy to, like, for instance, how they load scripts and stuff on the website, where they load them or whatever. So yeah, this site was a complete mess, though. It had been hacked by a bunch of different developers, and there was just things loading everywhere. It was a long cleanup. But anyway, it was a cleanup where you have a situation where you have a live site that's has great revenue, and you can't just unplug it and fix it and then plug it back in. It's live. So you have to incrementally fix stuff over time. So anyway, like I said, long story, lots been done to the website. And earlier this year, we actually had did another run at it, and we had some really, really great improvements. We started using a new plugin, WP Rocket, actually. And I actually haven't used WP Rocket that much in my websites, in my own websites or my client sites. It wasn't really on the radar. But for whatever reason, and this is the thing about custom sites, websites in general, what works for one site may not work for another, or magically works for some other site. But in this particular case, it had some particular configurations that we could leverage that allowed us to get this thing up to speed. And but it did require us to do other things to the site. So what actually happened is, when we did this all on staging, when it went live, we realized that there were some things broken. You do as much testing as you do in a staging. You go live, you're still testing as you're going live. And we realized, and I don't even know when that happened with my developers, but realized that there was some issues. So we had to deactivate some of the settings and configurations. And so when we had expressed to the client what the numbers were in terms of speed on mobile, that was like cut in half, not quite in half, but came down quite a bit because we couldn't use those configurations. So we had to go at it again. Now, this is so we're getting to the lessons. So basically, we got that figured out. Like, my developers are awesome. They figured out that okay, when we turn these configurations on, this is what it affects. There was like several things, and so what they did is they found a way to basically fix those conflicts and in whatever plugins that were conflicting. So they fixed the conflicts. We're able to do it again. And again, we kind of went through this. I actually, with WP Rocket, it also like was caching some like this old function that was in there that served payment options based on geolocation internationally or US. And so that was a thing that was in there, but we got it figured out. We got it done right now. It's working awesome. And it improved the speed. It doubled the speed again on mobile. So here's the lessons. So I got a note from the client and I let him know first, and I got a note back. And he expressed to me, he's like, we already see an improvement in our search results rankings. And now he only has to tell me that because I don't know what the percentage is nowadays. I believe he's expressed to me like 90% of their business is search. And it's been that way for years. And they do a really good business. So that is really, really important. And that's why speed is really, really important, because speed on a website has become super important, especially on mobile. And that's lesson number one, right? It's if you have a website, go to Google Page Speed or whatever tool you want to use and work on your speed, because it does impact your rankings and how Google looks at your website. So when I heard that, I just smiled. And of course, I ran around and got excited and, broke a bone or two because I fell down because I was so excited and I was just running into things. And no, not really. But so immediately, right? Now, this is a lesson around teams. Immediately, what I did is I went to Slack and I wrote up a little something for my team. Number one, to just let them know that I got this note from our client, and let them know that, hey, the work you guys did on this had this impact. It made a difference. All that blood, sweat, and tears. I don't even know what they all went through to probably try to troubleshoot this and figure out what, fix those conflicts and go through this through a couple rounds. We got it done, and we were able to, to see this result for the client. And obviously, if they got better rankings, that means they may be getting better, more sales, which is also a good thing, right? So that should translate to that. But I wanted to let my team know that, because I think it's really important, all of us, even myself, you day in and day out, the day in and day out grind of getting tasks and projects and doing stuff. You don't always see or hear about the results of that. And this was a very direct and clear result of some efforts that we put in to improve that speed. And so I wanted to let my team know that, because that's going to help morale a little bit. That's going to, if they know, I know that's going to have an impact on their psychology, because knowing that they're not just doing these tasks to do these tasks, they're doing these tasks that are having an impact on the client, and we're helping, and that's what we're really in the business of, right? Is helping clients, helping businesses do better. That's on our hero, on our website, do better. That's what I lead with. But it's because we're helping them do better. And that can happen. That same client, this year we've rebuilt their product pages, their sales pages, basically, and to help them with conversions as well. So there's always things we're trying to do to help them, and do better is usually translates to better conversions, more sales. So, but I wanted to, that's the big lesson in this, is not only the speed aspect of it and the technical aspect of this conversation, but when you're running a team, you want to give them kudos. I'm probably maybe go over the top sometimes, and probably because I just love seeing them do things. If I see a great design come out of my designer, or and I see that now on our website. She just did some updates to our unifiedwebdesign.com website, our custom page. She created like this new custom section that talks about why custom. Why do you even want a custom website? And she redesigned that, new icons and all this, put that in there. She redesigned a front page that tells the visitor what we do, what types of things we work with, like Shopify and WordPress and other frameworks. So she redesigned those and saw those, and I give her kudos. Like that looks great. It's going to be, and not only that, it's going to be great because people will be able to see what we're doing more and give more insight. It's going to help us close more sales. On our maintenance page, we now have a couple. We're showcasing a couple of our clients. That's going to help. So all those things help us as well. But when we can help other people, well, hopefully it'll help us find people that need help. We can help them. But I think it's important for our team to know that, they're showing up to work to do things that do have a real impact in the world and on people's lives. And the people that work at these companies, obviously if we can help this particular business, for example, do well, improve their mobile speed so they can get better rankings and get more conversions, that helps them retain the people working for them. I know they got a pretty large customer service department, for example. They have a marketing team. They have, they have us. They have to pay all these people. So if we can help them do better and continue to do well, they'll be able to, grow that company and help the people that work there. So it's all circular. Anyway, so that's the lesson today. Lesson number 1 is speed. If you got a website, go out there and check that speed. The lesson number 2, if you got a team, don't forget to give them kudos. Don't forget to show them, when every opportunity you can, show them the results of their efforts and the impact they're having, because that'll give them more joy and happiness, and they'll like to come into work more. Because they should. I mean, you want people to come to work and enjoy their work, and it's hard work sometimes. It's a pain in the butt, but if you know that what you're doing is having an impact, make a difference in your mood and your happiness. Okay, I'm going now. Until next time, take care.